everyone. A very good morning on a Sunday. This is Natasha, and we also have Michelle. So today we both are going to discuss on a topic which you may be finding it as very common or maybe very oftenly discussed these days, but still what we have seen, in our observation, in our therapies, in our clients who approach us, it is still something that's very ambiguous. Still people are facing difficulty of how to deal with the situation, how to deal with this particular thing that we are going to talk about, and it is nothing other than anxiety. Okay, it's a very, very commonly used phrase now. Earlier it used to be that people would come and tell us that we are facing depression, or I am feeling depressed, or I am depressed. Now we have the new jargon that people have, that I think I'm feeling anxiety, or in Hindi as they say, mujhe anxiety ho rahi hai. So this is what we have very commonly heard. And we will not deny, I know Michelle will agree with me that it is happening now a lot more common than it used to be earlier, especially in the last 6 to 8 months, where the whole world is in something called as a landscape crisis. So then what we are going to do today is that we are not going to talk to you on what is anxiety and how it happens and why it happens. We are not going to talk anything technical. Rather, what I and Michelle have thought for you today is that we will describe certain kinds of anxiety or certain kinds of faulty thinking that may happen in your brain, and how to correct that. So that will be a better aspect for you, and so that you learn, so that you also, one more thing is that that okay, this is not only you, it's not only happening with you, and it is happening with many other people. And yes, there is definitely a possibility to change that. Okay, so now when I start, I will tell you about three things that we want in our life. We want to be, first thing is like the autonomy, where we feel that life is so autonomous that we want to be completely in control of our life. So when we feel we are in complete control of our life, we feel everything is going well, everything is nice. I know what to do, I know what is the future, I know how I have planned it out. But if there is something that happens, some uncertainty comes in, like this uncertainty has come in everybody's life. So you feel out of control. So you are completely thrown out of your comfort zone. Even now, like earlier we were in the lockdown, now when the unlock is happening, at least both of us are not seeing any difference. Earlier the anxiety was different, now the anxiety is different, but it is still there. Okay, second thing is about the relatedness. Earlier, we were isolated, okay, with people we were not allowed to meet. Now, slowly and steadily, we are getting back. It's like people, some are going to work, or means, the shopping has become a lot more easier and less stressful. But still, the new stress is now how to meet people because now you have a fear, or even more fear of contamination. First, you think that everybody was supposed to be home. Now that people are mixing around, the fear of contamination in some people who are, very hygiene prone, or someone who are a little obsessed about hygiene and health and everything, for them that kind of anxiety is seen a lot more. Okay, and third thing is of course fatigue, our body fatigue. Whether we are going out, we feel tired coming back, and if the people who have been at home for a prolonged time, they are experiencing even more tiredness in the body. So Michelle, before I elaborate, would you want to add something to these things?
Yeah, simply agreeing with what you said, I would like to add that people, we are all in this together, okay? As much as y'all are facing these anxieties, we have also gone through it. But the difference between y'all and us is that we are working around it. We are working on our mental health. So you need to do the same so that you can overcome the situation and not make an escape out of that situation. That is one thing definitely that I would like to say. Also, additionally, where you have children, it's extremely important for parents to be more mindful when they have children around. especially during the unlock that's happening now, where people are, like teens want to go out. They're saying, Mama, the theaters are opening. We also want to go and watch a movie. So you, as a responsible parent, will have to take, the decisions to see whether it's really, really necessary for you to step out. So every time you are in a dilemma, I think you need to ask yourself that, is it really necessary? That's the first question. That means that you are pausing and don't do what other people are doing just because people are posting pictures on the media saying that they have gone here to this particular restaurant and it's safe and this and that. We understand the unlock is happening because of the economy, it's for a higher purpose. But people, please be mindful of your actions, because understand your beliefs, your attitudes will be carried forward by your own children. So what you think, if you think I don't care what happens, I'm going to go anyways, remember this, your children are going to replicate the same thing. So be very, very mindful. Take it as a social responsibility. We are still not out of the pandemic. Let's just get it very, very clear. We are not out of it. We are still in the process. In fact, now we have seen the cases rising even more. We are seeing it, like, every time I and Natasha have gone out for some purpose, okay, we have seen, and that's only for work purpose, we have seen that there are a lot of buildings which are having these, quarantining boards, which means that it is now there in every nook and corner. All the more responsible we have to be, people. So be very, very aware. Stop and ask yourself, is it really, really necessary? If people are going on vacations, just be mindful of what you people are doing. Is it really necessary for you to do that? Or can you adapt to certain techniques and things that you can do at, from the comfort of your house? Like it could be some kind of a meditation. Understand one thing, even if you go for a vacation for 2 days, 3 days, okay, you're coming back to your house. Don't you forget that, people. That's where the anxiety can again step in. You have escaped for a moment, and at least not in a pandemic that we would expect you to go on vacation and post pictures. Be a little more mindful. In fact, we would be really grateful if you all can teach your own children certain things, certain mindful things, like, even if it's reading a book and, explaining to them about the situation that's around. Even if they are little toddlers, they will get it, because even kids get your anxiety. So understand that if you are being mindful and if you're coping beautifully through the stressful situations, your children will get it completely. And I think Natasha will completely agree with me on that. Would you like to add something, Natasha, to that?
Yeah, so thanks, Michelle, for making everyone aware, because sometimes, this is where the human mind comes in play. Either you're so scared and locked up in your house and not wanting to step out, or else you have forgotten everything and then you're just out as if everything is normal. Now, here, both of us on a Sunday morning are not here to discourage you. Don't take us wrong, okay? We are not here to discourage you, but at the same time, as we say that we all have a social responsibility, and when or else, okay, so if you are someone who is really required to go out, sometimes just catch up with people, but then know that you have to maintain your social distance. Why we are adding all these things in a topic called as coping up with anxiety? Because you come back home, and for example somebody sneezed, or for example somebody just felt, as if you're tired, then what happens to you? Your brain is fried. You are thinking of all possible ways, that where did you go out, what happened, and what did I get contaminated, did this happen, did that happen? So this aspect which I am describing is called as overgeneralization. Okay, that is one kind of anxiety that we will explain to you. That when, for example, if something happens, one, like as I gave this example, that you are there, you went, and you ignored your awareness, and then you just went out, and then you come home, and don't forget the climate that is changing, especially in India. There's a lot of climate changing that's happening. Suddenly it was raining. Now since at least 2 3 days it is so sunny, and we are experiencing the October heat. Okay, So of course again your bodies are going to change. So you must be very aware that is your body changing, or is it that you have gone outside and is did something go wrong over there. So if as I said, if somebody comes home and if they sneeze or if they feel like as if they might catch a cold, then your mind is really overgeneralizing things and you have all kind of thoughts, you have all kind of fearful thoughts, and then you have a family, so all of you together are going to be anxious. So Michelle, could you just explain how not to overgeneralize and what they can do to overcome such thoughts?
Yes, I would. Yes. Yeah. I would like to go ahead before, even telling them about the fallacy of thinking. I would like to also add one more fallacy to that, Natasha, which is called the optimistic biases. Okay. So people who know that, as we said, when the pandemic began, people were highly anxious because they didn't know what they were getting into. Okay. And we have also seen that amongst our clients. And then they went into that mode where they wanted to now fight the pandemic. So they are going to be the warriors of their life. So they're going to kind of balance their family and life, and they have to work. Of course, we understand that. And now they have come to an attitude where I don't care whatever happens, and I'm going to go, and because it's very, very suffocating for me to stay at home. Okay. So there's something called the optimistic bias, which doesn't actually, which rules out the possibility of whatever Natasha spoke about, that you'd go do an action thinking that nothing will happen to me. So basically, you go into a denial, okay? You go into a denial situation where you think that nothing wrong can happen to me and I am protected. But at the same time, as Natasha said, when you come back home and then you start thinking that, okay, I was sitting there in that auto, and what if somebody else who, was sneezing or has sneezed, or if somebody has sneezed where you have been, did that person have some germs that I can get contaminated by, or XYZ, as Natasha just explained very beautifully. So those things y'all will really, really have to be mindful of. Y'all will have to have the pause button in your life to first stop and think whether that's really, really true for you. Is it that you have today, you have experienced it, then are you going to again experience the same thing in your life? You'll have to be very, very mindful. So even before you take the step of going out, you'll have to think of all these things that you are as a person. If you know that you are obsessed with cleanliness, or if you are over, you have fears, then you need to work on those fears first. Because if you don't work on those fears, you're going to come back and create something that did not exist in your life, and you will create more anxiety and more misery for yourself. And I think Natasha will totally agree with me on that, that it will be more hell for you rather than becoming a happy occasion of meeting your family. It'll become more of a stressful occasion when you come back from that meeting. I think, Natasha, you can add something more to that.
Yeah. So also, one more thing where I would like to bring your awareness is that each one of us, okay, each one of us is very, very aware, and we are very, very sensitive, okay, and we are all in connected in one consciousness. So how is this related to anxiety? I will explain a little further. When I say that we all are connected with one consciousness, that means it's like one web. And when I spoke about at the start about a landscape crisis, that means it's like all of us are covered in that landscape. Okay. So, here, as we have been telling you throughout this Facebook Live, is that we have to be there for each other, we have to motivate each other, and at the same time, we have to also make each other aware. So, for example, okay, if you are, as I said, we all are connected with one consciousness. So, then earlier when the pandemic started, okay, every human being or every soul on the planet was feeling uncertain whether it was your situation or no. You were feeling uncertain for no reason. Some was feeling all the time, some were feeling it means sometimes, and some were kind of coping up with it. So that was one phenomenon, and then came the fear. along with uncertainty. It's like along with the uncertainty, you started feeling a lot of fear that what if this happens, what if that happens, when the borders were shutting down, what if this never opens, what if we are all caught up, just in the house, and lot of imagination. So these are also those same factors of overgeneralization, where for one act we are putting a blanket cover on the entire situation, and we feel it's the same for everyone. Okay, so now it's like, as Michelle said, there is a mix of bravery, and there is a mix of, means, a little fear. Some people are very cautious, some people are as if, I don't care. So in this, when you are connected to that consciousness, you, and it's only your responsibility to be aware of where you fall. Is it your thought? What are you aware of? Okay, what are the things that are going on in your mind? So on this, okay, when, for example, suddenly you will start feeling anxious, and suddenly you will start feeling, okay, I don't care. So this mix is what is the current scenario that's happening everywhere. That, so here what I would like to again say is that you have to know your thoughts, you have to be aware on your own. Okay, the times where you feel it's okay for me to go out for a walk or for some fresh air, please do that. We are not saying that no, again you have to be like the lockdown situation. But at the same time, sometimes you don't feel light about it. You feel, no, I don't think that, I should venture out today. Don't do that. And it's okay to cancel those appointments or anything if you don't feel safe, because the base is that you feeling safe and you feeling unsafe, because your point of view is going to create your reality. So we would very much, tell you that whatever you think you will create. So the time, so weigh your options every day. You must, it's like we do it when we wake up in the morning. Every day we are aware of our thoughts, we are aware of what we think, we are very much aware. And for example, now we are not saying that we are all positive, nothing negative ever comes into our play. It never happens that way. In case if a thought creeps up, okay, then we deal with it with all these tools that we are sharing. That, is it mine, is it real, or else should I avoid this, should I go ahead? So use your awareness every time. Could you elaborate on that, Michelle?
Yes. So every time, like Natasha said, for that, you all will have to do some kind of mindful practices. So even if it is a meditation or staying connected to your body, because let's understand our body, our mind, and our energy are all connected together. So if you're taking good care of your body, that means you're aware of what is happening in your body. Okay. How are you feeling? Not being obsessive, but being aware. There is a difference between the two. Okay. And second is you're aware of your thoughts. Okay, if I am feeling anxiety, is it really mine or is it somebody in the house who is feeling? And I'm just picking up those thoughts because we know that we are all connected. So you'll have to be aware of that first thing. And am I going to be able ask questions to yourselves, because questions will really really go ahead and empower you. Ask yourself that, okay, if I go here, will it contribute to my life? Will it bring more happiness? And at the same time, will I be more responsible enough to handle that situation? If you get a yes, go ahead. But as we said, we are all in the pandemic, so maintain your social distance, take care of yourself, and be very very mindful of your thoughts. So if you are overly obsessive, you need to work on that. If you are anxious, you need to work on that. If you are fearful, you need to work on that. Okay. So when you do that and when you ask questions, that's very, very empowering. And understand nobody knows about your situation more than you. Don't trust anything and anyone, not even the news or anything that is broadcasted to you. Just trust your inner being, the being that is your higher self, that actually gives you the correct message. Trust that. And if that is the guidance you get, that okay, you can go ahead, then go ahead, but again with a lot of mindfulness, because as we said that we are responsible, and we have to continue to be these responsible citizens, not just for ourselves but for our family and wherever we live, and for the country and for the world at large. Natasha, you want to add something to
Yeah,
that?
Yeah, because I was, as you were talking, I just went into some kind of visualization of
Okay.
means a feeling of that how we are so socially connected. So then one person is responsible for the entire community, and that's how where community awareness also comes in. And then if you have community anxiety, you can be the first one to spread community awareness. Okay, what if you being aware, setting an example allows other people to learn from you and also be aware. So here we are not setting examples of fear, but we are setting examples of awareness, where you need to learn how to separate your fears, as Michelle said, how to separate your fearful thoughts from separating your awareness. Okay, and if you are someone who is really who gets anxious and who has bodily sensations, like sometimes we even talk to teens in our sessions, and they have got into this part of overgeneralization, which we are emphasizing today, that something happened with someone's grandmom, or something happened with someone's aunt or something. So then that the teens who are not even near them, it's not even the society, it's not anywhere, they are so scared that something might happen to them, and they are falling into the category of panic attacks. So that part is where we are telling you that if you as an adult are aware, and if you as an adult are responsible, you are giving the same examples to your children. If you project that I don't care, and tomorrow if your kid also wants to do the same thing, you are in no position to object them, because you've already done the action. And the kids, they only learn from imitation and observation. They are not going to listen to you. So just forget about that dream of your kid or anybody, someone who is younger than you. Because here, especially in our country, we have this another fallacy that elders are always right and we must listen to them, we must definitely respect them. I'm not talking about disrespecting, but when it comes to listening, it's really like how you have in corporates, lead by example. Same corporate policy applies at home, lead by example. So if you are not going to set an example to the members who are younger than you at home, so then you forget about even anybody listening to you. If not now, in the near future they are going to object you. Okay, so then this was something that we wanted to talk about today, about overgeneralizing and how to cope up with that in anxiety. And you have any other tips that you want to share, Michelle, with them?
No, absolutely. One thing that I would even now repeat or reiterate, whatever you want to call it, is that they will have to start some mindful practices. People, you all will have to do that and set examples to your beautiful children. Understand that they are going to copy it and they have beautiful ideas. In fact, if you sit with them, you will get so many ideas of how you can do things. Just being a part of their creative life, it's so beautiful. Trust me, you won't feel like going out or doing anything extraordinary. Just being with them is so much fun. Why don't you all adapt that practice of taking, say, 15 minutes or 20 minutes out with your kids and just being with them, having fun with them, and looking at the world from their eyes. Trust me, life will be the pandemic and the anxiety and everything will come to an like to a balance to a great extent. And they are beautiful teachers because they are very much connected to nature, to everything around, unlike us, because we are conditioned into the rights, the wrongs, the goods, the fears and anxieties. They are not. So let's all become little children, learn from them, because it's really really beautiful to be among them.
Yeah, so if any one of you have any questions regarding the aspect of overgeneralizing, you can post it on comments, and we will answer them. And meanwhile, Michelle, I just want to elaborate on one more thing which suddenly popped up in my head, where I was having a discussion with someone about the mind and the body. This just happened in the morning, so I will share it with all of you. So sometimes we wake up fresh, we wake up very happy. So on those days, this is one practice that I include. Give gratitude to your body, give gratitude that you are awake, you're breathing, you're happy. Okay, so that will become a habit. So no matter in what mood you wake up, you will always have gratitude, because that is one habit that you can add to your life. So what happens is, that when we this was a discussion that I was hearing, that someone who is very dear to me said that, there are so many things that the body goes through. The body goes through fatigue, the body goes through tiredness. Sometimes we feel as if we are going to have a cold, sometimes we feel as if, we are tired and we just want to sleep. It's palpitations and it's so many things. So I was observing the anxiety. So when all these things happen, okay, so the discussion was that if your body is well, if your body is healthy, your mind automatically will find peace. Okay, but my discussion is also that if your mind is healthy, okay, if you have a good sense of mental health awareness, if your mind is healthy, your body will automatically be healthy, because your brain is the one that is sending signals to your body. And interchangeably, your body, for example, if it has pain, okay, if it has any discomfort, it is telling your mind to do something about it. But my point is, why do we even get there till putting your body in discomfort? Okay, so this is where your mental health and your physical health are connected so much. And this discussion, like, this 5 to 6 minute discussion, gotten so much of awareness in me, that this also could be a possibility, where people are not comfortable with their bodies and they are thinking that only if my body was healthy, my mind would have been at rest. But I would say that if your mind is at rest, your body will also start feeling healthy. Even if you want to start it as a placebo effect, okay, placebo effect is like putting an effect when there is none. Okay, so even if you want to keep telling, like, these are little affirmations, like before we are done with today's Facebook Live, that which we want to share. Few affirmations. That first thing, say that I am safe, okay, I am healthy. You can say this to yourself, even if you're not feeling that at that time. It doesn't matter, because this is like a placebo. The more you say it, the more your body will start believing it. Your body will say, okay, she says or he says that I am healthy. He says that I am joyful, I am happy. So then you have to change your narrative of how you think. That self talk which you do to yourself, that okay, I am having this discomfort, that means this or that means this. So before you overgeneralize and before you diagnose your own problems, you can change that narrative in your head. And you can say, even if I'm feeling this, but I choose to feel healthy, I choose to feel happy. And then divert your mind. Okay, do something, do some activity. That's where which Michelle was suggesting, that do some creative things. It's not that, that same old things we are repeating from last so many months, but those are the things that come to our rescue. So do something with, first thing, change your narrative. Immediately, anything that negative happened in your head, reframe it into a positive one. Even if you don't believe it, even if you don't like it, because slowly and steadily is what you train your mind. Like how you go to the gym, you don't get fit in a day, right? Same thing with your mind. So then take your mind to that gym of training it to the positive ways of life, the positive thinking. And we have done a gratitude series that's there on Facebook, that is also there on our YouTube channel. If you want, even if you are the one who have watched it, go and do that entire 28-day challenge again. And again, just watch those videos. Maybe you have forgotten something, maybe you are watching this live for the first time. So we have a lot of resources on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. We both would suggest and urge that you go and watch it, and then try to change your thoughts and your attitudes. And for example, okay, if you are someone who fall into that category where it is very difficult, okay, so you, rather than going into some kind of excessive anxiety and panics, please get in touch with a professional. You can get in touch with us, or if you know any professional, or you can get in touch with them. Okay, please take help. Or that's what I mean, that take help. Do not feel shy to take help. Yesterday we celebrated World Mental Health Day, and we have been celebrating all these days like World Heart Day, World Alzheimer's Day, World Mental Health Day, only to make you more aware. It's only about making you more aware so that we get this stigma out of this world forever, that mental health needs to be told so much. If someone is physically feeling unhealthy, they will go to the doctor. So why can't you go to the doctors who or the healthcare people who take care of mental health? It should be as easy and simple. Until that doesn't happen, I don't think, like, all the people who are in this with us for spreading mental health awareness will stop, because we have a long way to go. Even if the pandemic has brought up a lot of awareness about how important mental health is, okay, but still, it's like what we feel, we have a long way to go. So if you are with us, please share our videos and please help us spread more awareness, because we come here online only for you guys, so that whatever from our little way, whatever we can contribute, maybe someone needs to know how to deal with this overgeneralizing anxiety. So if you share it with them, maybe it will help them. You never know. So your one act of just pressing one button can just help someone save with all that anxiety thoughts, because we have seen people who have anxiety, we have interacted with them, and it's not as easy as I and Michelle are talking here. Okay, it's very difficult for them. It's not something that easily can be suppressed or easily can be expressed. They suffer in both ways, expressing, and also they cannot suppress it because it just comes out anywhere. Okay, so then if you know someone who needs it, or even if you feel that nobody needs it, but just share it, like how you share your family forwards or something with your friends. That is something that which both of us would like to tell you. Anything else you want to add, Michelle?
No, I guess we are more than done actually. We had expected to be there only for 15 minutes, but we have
Yeah,
crossed.
that's the case always, I think. Yeah, so tomorrow we are coming up with from tomorrow, okay, not tomorrow, from tomorrow, we are coming up with something called as Mental Health Mondays, where we will be online for 15 minutes at 10 a.m. in India time, okay, where we will share one tool or one tip with you. Tomorrow, you will see both of us, and then from then on, you will see one of us sharing great tips and tools about mental health awareness and how you can improve your life and your living and also your business. And tomorrow night, that is same on Monday, we will be coming up with something called as a dream time. Okay, so where all of you who are watching can share your dreams and we will interpret it on Facebook Live for you. So that's from our side for you today. Have a great Sunday in whichever part of the world you are watching us from, and take good care of yourself.
Goodbye.